Hey, gun people, want to talk about why you never shoot just once. Now, most all cops are trained, military, unless you're doing a sniper or you're in a concealed position and you're going for a one-kill shot, and a one-shot kill. I have a link I'll put to a picture of a target zone where it discusses the fatality or the celery stalk to you, where you hit somebody in the brain stem for that one kill, which pretty much drops them in their footsteps there without even, they have no muscle reflex, they can't squeeze. If you can separate that spinal column there, I'll put a link in the description if you want to review that. But here's a couple scenarios where why you don't want to just shoot once, and double tap is always taught. So a lot of times in this other video I'm going to criticize the cops for shooting too many times, but making the decision to shoot is very difficult. But once you make the decision to shoot, it's very hard to change that decision and stop shooting, because you've already got to an excited fight or flight position, flight response, to where you absolutely think you're going to die. So once you get to that decision, it's very difficult to make that decision to stop. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to play this video here, and I'll give you a quick scenario on kind of what's going to happen. This guy right here is coming in as a robber. He's got a gun. There's a guy on a motorcycle waiting for him that's working with him. This guy right here has a gun. He's going for it right now, and he's going to shoot this guy once. Bang. Then he shoots the other guy. Bang, 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 bang. Now he gets shot in the back because he only shot the one guy once. As this guy runs off, he shoots him and he falls. It'll show a different angle here. You see him fall. This guy runs around here, and now he gets shot in the back and he falls right here. Pretty quick video. Had this guy, now some people are going to say the guy shouldn't have pulled his gun. Well, if he'd have double tapped everybody he shot, he'd have had a better chance of surviving, or even triple trap the first guy. The guy's got a gun. If you're going to shoot him and there's multiple guys, you want to make sure and stop the threat. So I mean, double tap, triple tap, fire 3 times, turn the other guy and fire 3 times. Whatever your plan is, but to shoot somebody once, the odds of you getting a one-stop shot just doesn't work. The flip side of that is, people will criticize cops for saying, why didn't he shoot him in the leg? Or I couldn't kill somebody. I see this a lot on a concealed page I'm on Facebook, where a lot of people go, well, I couldn't kill anybody, but I'll just shoot the womb, I'll shoot in the arm, I'll shoot the gun. Look, the odds of you hitting when you start trying to dictate small targets like arms or legs is slim to none and slim left town. I'm telling you, you need to be shooting for largest mass available. People will say shoot center mass. Technically, you're shooting for the center mass of the largest available target. If a guy has his head around a brick wall and your only target is a head, you're shooting of center mass of what's exposed. So his head, you're shooting center mass of the head. If half his body's exposed, you're shooting for center of half his body. And if his whole body's exposed, you're shooting for the center of his body, because that's the largest target. It gives the largest room for error, and it increases your likelihood of getting a hit, even though you're not as accurate, because very few people hit exactly where they aim. So they may hit close to where they aim, but they rarely hit exactly where they aim. Now, if you're shooting a target at 15 yards and you're shooting out eyes and you're shooting at the nose and you're shooting at the earlobe, and you're hitting those consistently with stress in a critical environment where you're moving and your heart rate's up, well, then maybe they can make an argument that you should have aimed for the finger and shot his trigger finger off. But most times that don't hold water, and it's easy to defeat on why you shoot for center mass, why you shoot multiple targets, why the government trains that way, why cops are trained that way, why survivalists are trained that way. If you want to live, you shoot for largest. We're going to look at the video one more time real quick, in case you didn't see exactly what happened here. Robbery, you see this guy coming in, a motorcycle pulls up, guy gets off, he starts pushing people in. He's got a helmet on, you can't see his face. Helmet gives, this guy tries to leave. Did you notice that? He tries to leave. Now he reaches in his pocket to get his gun. If he's carrying a gun in his pocket, my thought is he's got a very small caliber gun. It's a small little gun. Another reason you don't want to shoot one. your bullet may have not thing. It may have ricocheted off a bone. It may have ricocheted off a pin in his pocket. There's been a lot of people that lived after a shooting because the bullet grazed or ricocheted. You don't want to take that chance that one bullet's going to stop. One, you don't know how big the bullet is. You don't know if you're going to hit a critical organ. You don't know if the bullet's going to perform as it's supposed to. You don't know if it's going to expand. You don't know if it's hit a vital organ. You don't know any of those things. All you know is that you're shooting once and you're hoping that all this lines up and comes in play. And the odds are it isn't. So double taps, multiple double taps, 3 double taps will get 6 rounds of somebody. The quicker you can get rounds in a person, the more likelihood one of those bullets is going to hit a vital organ, sever the spine, stop the heart, get an artery. You still have bleed out time, but you need blood loss. You need to stop this person from his ability to kill you or react to you shooting him. And shooting one time just doesn't do that. Now we're going to go to the other video, which isn't so great. Now this video here is a bunch of cops here are got this guy surrounded. This guy right here is supposedly has a knife. You see all these cops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 cops out here, just probably more. But they've all got their guns drawn. They're all at a distance. And remember, distance is safety. Distance is time. Distance gives you ability to react, to disengage, to seek cover, to hide. So distance is always your friend. Very rarely do you want to decrease distance on somebody. If you do, then you're going to be deemed as the aggressor. Now, cops can't be deemed as the aggressor because they were called there. They have to respond there. So the law has kind of made it, obviously, to protect the government, protect the system. But I mean, in realistic, you got to give cops protection. If they're going to go into danger, you can't give the ability to suspect say, oh, he was the aggressor. I had a knife, but had all these cops stayed right here, nothing would have happened. Well, and that's true, and I kind of agree with that in this situation. The guy's got a knife, he's not charging, he's at a distance, these cops are in a good, safe position. Why are you going to force the situation? Now, they're all yelling. This guy is obviously EDP, an emotionally disturbed person. He's got mental issues. You've got a dog here barking. You've got a lot of chaos. Oh, I forgot the dog. Here's the dog right here, and behind it is another officer. So you got 8 officers with a dog, all with guns. Guns is a much superior weapon than a knife. They've all got distance from the knife. Now, there's going to be some cop that's going to come here. Well, the 21 feet rule says you can shoot a guy with a knife. This guy can cover 21 feet, and you got to kill him fast. Look, I get all that. Legally, can you justify it? Sure. But morally, there has to come a point to where you go, especially as a civilian using a gun, you have to show that you were fear and that you tried to disengage and that you don't want to be deemed as the primary aggressor. Once you get deemed as a primary aggressor, that's a huge hurdle to overcome in a legal status later. So staying back, keeping your distance, I don't think these cops should have been going in. You're going to see this canine go in and out. I'll go ahead and start the tape here. They end up shooting the guy, just so you know. Spoiler alert. Dog's barking. Cops are moving. They're nervous. They're yelling. They're getting closer so they don't get behind. That's good. You don't want to get behind or in front of another guy with a gun. This guy holsters his gun right there. Did you see that? That is a good case for white. I think he pulled out maybe a taser. I thought maybe he was getting a... Now they're backing away again. Remember, suspect is pretty much in the same position. Cops are the only one moving in and out. Cops have superior position. I'm going to turn down this video here because you can't really hear much anyway. Cops have superior position. They have safety. They have numbers. They have superior firepower. They have a canine. There's no reason to do anything else here. Now, in a minute, the guy's going to move. And when he moves, they're going to open fire. There he goes. Okay, pop quiz. How many shots were fired? I'm guessing over 20. I figure there's 8 cops there. Each of them fired at least 3 rounds. You got 24 of that. So I'm saying way over 20 rounds were fired. Now, was 20 rounds needed to be fired at one guy with a knife because he moved? Now, there's some outcry on this about cops use too much force. Well, look, I'm gonna give you both sides here. From a cop's perspective, I'm there, I got my gun out, I'm protecting the life of another officer myself. So therefore, I'm allowed, of course I get a phone call in the middle of this, so I'm allowed to defend myself. Can I justify what I did? Yes. So each individual cop has to be able to justify, was there a threat? Were you in danger? Did you fire to protect yourself or others? And every one of those cops can say that answer, yes. He moved to another officer. If I let him get too much closer, I couldn't shoot him because then I might hit the officer. And when he moved, I shot. Now, and legally, I think they'll all be found good. Now, there's a thing that's called sympathetic fire. Do I think there was some sympathetic fire here? Yes. I don't think every cop out here felt fear. I don't think every cop out here felt they had to defend in life. But they were in the heat of the moment. Their adrenaline was up. They were all together. You had 8 guys there. When one person fired, I think everyone else said, shit, I'm firing too. And I'm not firing once. I'm firing multiple times. Because in your training, they're not thinking, that these cops weren't thinking, okay, there's 8 of us, so we should each fire just 1 round because that's 8 bullets and one of them should probably hit. They weren't thinking that. That's not the mindset that they were in. Should they have thought that? Maybe. Should they have said, do we really need to fire multiple rounds with 8 of us? Maybe. They had a good background. There's nothing behind them. They've got their area clear. They opened up and went multiple shots and said, we're going to stop this guy. Now, my guess is this guy's dead. He's pretty much dead before he hit the ground. He had multiple shots. Even if these cops were bad shots and missed all vital organs, you know, out of 20, 25 rounds, the odds of you not getting hit in a vital organ or bleeding out is slim to none. Again, a slim left town. So this guy obviously is dead. Was this a good shoot? I think legally it was a good shoot. Was it a moral shoot? Are these cops going to sleep good at night? Probably the cops are going to sleep okay. Again, they were called there. They had to be there. This guy caused the incident. He had the knife. They were there. They told him to stop. They gave him multiple opportunities to stop. Could they have used lower force? Yes. Could they have tased him? Yes. Could they have used rubber bullets? Yes. Hell, they'd have probably done less damage. They'd just got in a car and ran the guy over. I mean, if you just get in your car and run him over, he's got a knife, he's not going to stab you through the car. You'd have done less damage and he'd have probably had more ability to live, but would they have been sued? Would somebody have been complaining that a car was too heavy and too big and you shouldn't be running people over with car? Look, I always thought my car was my best weapon I had. You pull a gun on me and I'm in a car, I'm flooring it and it's go time. I mean, I think a car is the greatest weapon in the world, and as soon as all these dummies start figuring this out and stop using guns, you'll have a bunch of liberals out there yelling, wanting to ban cars, and cars should only be able to go to 5 miles an hour, and you know, you'll have all the liberal idiots trying to protect everybody from cars. There are a lot more cars out there, and you get mass times velocity equals energy. You get a car out there traveling at 20, 30 miles an hour, and it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pound car. When it hits something, it does a lot of transfer of energy. Okay, so I think the car's the best thing out there. And again, I think they could have ran this guy over and done less damage than shooting him 24 times. Probably got a little less heat. Would it have looked worse or bad? I don't know. But cops are trained. You should train yourself. Never shoot once. If you're in a critical incident, shoot till the guy drops. I didn't see anybody firing after he was on the ground. I might have missed it. Let me go back to it. I don't think they fired after he hit the ground, but we'll see. They're waiting. They're ready. Everybody's ready to shoot. Guy's not complying. Failure to comply. I'll turn it back up so we can hear the shots. Try and count the shots if you want. Okay, I was wrong. Everybody's yelling ceasefire now. They shot multiple times after he was on the ground. Multiple times.
They shoot him so many times.
Okay, why'd they shoot him so many times? That was straight up bull. Well, I don't know. I might have to agree with that. Anyway, hope that helps. Something to think about. Not a lot of right answers. There's not a lot of easier answers when it comes to protecting your life, your own life, someone else's life, using force, using deadly force, firing a gun. A lot of things happen real quick. Hope that helps. Questions or comments, I'll try to get to them.